Welcome to Rainy Rates. Today we step into the life of a woman who had everything: a foreign degree, high paying job, and a corner office in New York City. She was smart, successful, and unstoppable. But the world still asks her one question: when will you get settled down? This is the question that echoes through the heart of one Indian girl, a bold, emotionally layered novel by India's best-selling author Chetan Bhagat. This is not just a love story, it's a story of choices, chaos, guilt, passion, and power. Of three men and one woman finding her voice. Let's begin. Her name was Radhika Mehta, and tomorrow she was supposed to get married. She sat alone in her sea-facing hotel room in Goa. The night was still, but her mind was complete chaos. Her wedding lehenga was draped across a chair. Her mother's phone had rung 1,000 times. Guests danced to Bollywood beats in the garden below. But Radhika, she couldn't move, because tonight the ghost of her past had all come knocking. 3 different text messages from 3 different persons and only one heart, torn between who she was and who she was expected to be. But this confusion hadn't started that day. It started years ago, when Radhika first dared to dream beyond the limits of being a nice Indian girl. Born in a middle-class Delhi home, Radhika grew up being told she was too much, too smart, too confident, too ambitious for a girl. Her mother constantly reminded her, study if you must, but in the end, your real degree is marriage. But Radhika wanted more. She wanted to breathe the skyline of New York. She wanted to feel the weight of ambition in her palms, and she did. She cracked IIM Ahmedabad, got a job at Goldman Sachs in New York. She moved alone, learned to survive the subway, and slowly she rose. She became what few Indian women were allowed to be: powerful. That's when she met Debu. He was nothing like the sharp suits and calculated deals around her. He was soft, warm, creative. He worked in advertising and wrote poetry during lunch breaks. They met at an office Diwali party. He noticed her and also called her different. They started seeing each other. Coffee dates slowly turned into wine nights. Soon, they were living together, a quite comfortable bubble of love in the middle of Manhattan's chaos. And for the first time, Radhika let herself rest. She cooked for him, surprised him with notes in his lunchbox, dreamt of Sunday mornings curled up together. But then came the bonus, a huge one. She was promoted and celebrated by her seniors. She rushed home, breathless with joy, ready to share the news. But Debu didn't smile. He stared at the check, at her, and something shifted. He grew distant, passive, silent during dinners. And one evening, she overheard him talking to a friend. I wanted a simple girl, not this corporate robot. Radhika felt her world collapsed. The man who once loved her mind now feared it. She tried to fix it, cooked more, spoke less, became softer, but nothing worked. And one night, at a friend's party, she saw him kissing another woman. That was the end. No screaming, no breakdown, just a quiet goodbye. Then she moved to Hong Kong, emotionally exhausted. Work saved her. She buried herself in spreadsheets and silence. That's when Neil Gupta entered her story. Tall, elegant, married, her senior at work. He noticed her, praised her mind, respected her ideas, and slowly boundaries blurred. They started working late, sharing long conversations and secrets. One business trip turned into a dinner by the beach. That night, the silence between them cracked. Their affair began, passionate, secretive, and electric. For the first time, Radhika felt desired, admired not just her mind but her presence, her fire. But it was never whole and never real. Neil never promised a future. and Radhika kept waiting for a sign that never came. One morning he said, "I can't leave my wife. My children needs me." Radhika looked at him and realized she had become invisible in her own story. She ended it that day and quietly packed her heart again. Back in India, her family rejoiced. Their NRI daughter was finally back on track. "Let's find you a match," her mother declared. And that's how Brijesh Gulati entered, a software engineer from San Francisco, sweet, respectful, and mild. He asked about her job, and unlike others, he didn't flinch at her success. He spoke softly, listened patiently, didn't carry the insecurities of Debu or the complexity of Neil. And Radhika thought maybe this is what peace feels like. She agreed. The wedding was planned in Goa, a perfect venue, a perfect groom, and a perfect ending. But life doesn't believe in perfection. It believes in truth. The night before the wedding, the storm returns. On the last night before the wedding, she received 3 messages from Debu. "I made a mistake. I still love you. I'm in Goa. Can we talk?" From Neil, "I left everything. My wife knows everything now. I want to start again. I'm outside your hotel." And Brijesh, he had read Radhika's old diary, learned about her past, and grown silent too. Radhika felt the walls closing in. Her past lovers, her present fiancé, and her future a mystery. She walked down to the beach that night alone. No music, no bangles, no lipsticks, only the sound of the sea and her heart, completely broken. The next morning, the wedding hall waited. Guests gathered, her mother panicked, her father prayed. But Radhika, she stood in front of the mirror in bridal red dress and slowly removed the necklace, untied her hair, took off the bangles, and walked out. She walked straight to Brijesh and said, "You deserve someone who isn't divided between her past and her truth, and I deserve a chance to find my own story." She walked away from the wedding, from the expectations, not into someone else's arm, but into her own. She booked a solo trip, all alone, free and whole, because for the first time she understood she wasn't just one Indian girl, but she was her own Indian girl, unapologetic, unfinished, and finally free. This was Radhika Mehta's story. If you have ever felt torn between love and your identity, just remember, you don't have to shrink to fit. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to walk away from anything that asks you to be less. We will meet again in the next story. Until then, let the rain keep falling and your soul keep rising. And yes, you must read this book in detail. It's truly worth the experience. I have shared the link to purchase the book in the description below. Go check it out. Also, I have shared many such heartfelt stories. You can find them all in the playlist link below. Do give them a listen. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind.